everyone, and welcome to Bourbon Bites Whiskey Reviews with an 80s twist. I'm your host, Clifton, and I want to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving week, Thanksgiving season, fall, I guess you guys call it in certain parts of the country. Here in Southern California, it's very warm. Oh, not very warm, but it's pretty warm. But I thought tonight would be the perfect time to do a bit of a turkey-themed stream. So, of course, today's not Thanksgiving. It's next Thursday. I won't be going live. I'll actually be traveling to Las Vegas again this year for Thanksgiving. We did it last year. It was so much fun. Plus, I figured a lot of you guys are going to be doing things with your friends, family, or just with your bourbon bottles, whatever you want to do on Thursday on Thanksgiving night. But I thought I would go live tonight and give you some really fun flights or pours. Wow. Words. Some really fun pours from our friend Tony Bag Donuts, who is here in the chat. Good to see you, Tony. Tony actually offered to send over this turkey-themed flight for this Thanksgiving week stream. So thank you again, Tony, for the flight. By the way, if you guys ever want to send me samples to review, let me know. Reach out to me on Discord or Instagram, wherever you want to reach out to me. Then I will gladly review them on a live stream. So it should be a lot of fun. Going through these and future ones. Now, I did send a Patreon update today. If you are a patron, thank you, first of all. Second of all, that's where you get all the insights of the upcoming things going on in the channel. But I'll give a little recap here now. Tonight, we are doing this Wild Turkey themed stream. Tomorrow night will be our monthly movie night, which is a perk I offer for my Bourbon Bites, which is the $5 tier and up on Patreon, where we'll be watching Uncle Buck. I've heard of this movie, never seen it. I was looking for a dysfunctional holiday, or not necessarily a holiday, but a dysfunctional family film. This one was recommended, so I'm looking forward to watching that. You can join our Discord server to see that. Like I said, you have to be at that $5 tier on Patreon, so hopefully you guys can consider upping your tier for this giving season. Just kidding. Give to those who actually need it, but if you do have some extra funds and want to support your local favorite whiskey reviews with the 80s twist guy, maybe consider joining Patreon. Patreon.com/Bourbon Bites. But in addition to that, we're actually doing a Saturday night live stream as well. I'll be going live this Saturday with our friend Brandon, who is also in the chat. We'll be doing a blind flight. We're not necessarily a blind flight, but we're going to have our spouses pick bottles for us from my shelves, and Brandon's bringing some bottles as well. And they're going to be pouring some pours for us completely blind. We don't know. The only thing we know is either from my collection or his collection. That's all we know. So it should be a fun time. That's this Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you're not yet subscribed, hit subscribe, hit the bell button to be notified when I go live. Always a good time here on Thursday nights, but sometimes we do a little special things on Saturday evenings as well. Tony, Joey, and Anthony showing up to support our friend Tony. Doug is here from Taste and Sensibility. What's up, Doug? Hope you are doing well, my friend. Adam Free, another amazing patron of the channel. Hope to see you, Adam, at the movie night, or at least have you watch along and catch up with us at the party after. I know you've been doing that the past few times to be able to watch it on your TV, so all good there. But yeah, I'm really, really excited for this flight. If you saw the thumbnail, you know what we're drinking. I have in front of me 5 different wild turkey pours, and my order, okay, I think I know my order. I'm going to... I just want to make sure like we're going up in proof / kind of purposely putting things in places. Yeah, I think that should be the order. So I'm excited if you want to drink along with me, or if you have any of these products or any wild turkey products in general, or even if you don't, if you have any your favorite drinks this fall, let me know in the chat what you're drinking. If you're watching the replay, let me know in a comment below. But yeah, let's go and get these poured. Hope everyone is having a great Thursday evening. Zophir's here in the chat as well. Good to see you. What's up, you turkeys? I'm very thirsty. It's been a very long week, day, everything. So it's definitely been a time here. But Brandon says save the 15 for last. I have it next to last. I was gonna do the Master's Keep 1 after the 15. Should I swap those? Let me know in the chat if we should swap those, because I have those two. I'm not sure the proof of the Master's Keep 1. I pulled up some things right here. I've got to put my birthday in, of course. I was going to see the proof of that one. Is that one not super high proof? I don't see the proof on this photo. Shoot. Okay, I assumed this one was going to be a higher proof one, but I don't necessarily see it. 101 proof. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, in that case, I think that might be a good call. Thank you for that, Brandon. I think what I'm going to do All right, change up my order a little bit. One is 101. Yeah, thank you guys for the heads up. So we'll do all of our 101s back to back. So we'll start with the Jimmy Russell's 70th anniversary pour, which I've done on the channel before, but not in a flight with other Wild Turkey products. So this is this year's release. Really excited. It's an 8-year-old Wild Turkey 101. We're going to start with that one. Then we're going to move to the Wild Turkey 101 12-year. Now, this was a release exclusively. I think it was a travel exclusive for a while. I'm not sure exactly where you got this, Tony. So feel free to share in the chat where this one came from. I don't know if it's. I know Japan had some exclusives as well. So let me know, or if this is a US release potentially. Let me know. I don't know the details on this too much, but so we have the 8-year, the 12-year, the Master's Keep 1, which again is 101 proof. That one's aged up to 14 years, and it also is. Did we say it was toasted oak? I think I saw Brandon say that in chat. Toasted oak. Yeah. Swap them. Okay. What's up, Donnie? Good to see you. Was busy watching the snow. Yeah, I don't know what snow is out here in Southern California. Russell's 10 is 90. Okay. I still think I'm gonna save Russell's 10 for the end. I just want to get through these 101s first. That's not too far off of my proofs. Thank you, Donnie, for giving me the thumbs up. Yes, Donnie's an amazing mod here on the channel and Patreon supporter. And yeah, thank you for sharing the info on how to be alerted for not just tonight's streams, but Saturday's stream as well. What's up, Emily? Hope you're doing well, Emily. By the way, want to give a huge shout out to our friend Emily, another incredible mod on the channel. She actually has a fundraiser going on, or not a fundraiser, but not a GoFundMe. It's through another site where she is raising funds for some of her medical needs she's facing right now. It's a tough time with her mobility issues she's facing. So if you guys are looking for feeling a little more generous than supporting my Patreon, I felt bad that I was like, oh, if you're feeling generous, give money to me. But I'm like, no, instead, give your money to Emily. Emily, if you don't mind dropping your link in the chat, I'd love to get that out there. I just don't have it on hand, but good to see you in the chat. And hope you are doing very well. And some white stuff falling from the sky. If that happens here in California, it's probably ash. Let's be real. All right, let's go ahead and go with the 70th anniversary. Like I said, I've reviewed this before, but not compared to other Wild Turkeys. So I'm going to go ahead and pour all the 101s back to back so we can kind of do a direct comparison where they've opened up just the same amount of time. Y'all have mountains that get snow. We do have mountains. In LA, actually, some of the mountains we can see in the distance, like if you're looking out over the skyline of LA, you can see the mountains in the background have snow on them. It's kind of crazy. It's very surreal. Like in my last apartment, I was up in the valley and the mountains in the background had snow. I woke up one morning like, what the heck? And it was like not that cold down where I was at. So we definitely get it, but it's not as not as winter wonderlandy as it is in other parts of the country. I grew up in South Carolina. We got snow occasionally, but not in recent years. It's been very warm summer or winters lately. All right, so we got our 3 101 proof bourbons poured. Just want to have them open up at the same amount of time for this. Yeah, so let me know. Are you guys a fan, one, of Wild Turkey, but 2, are you a team 101, like a wild, like a what's the single barrel Kentucky Spirit? Like, do you like Kentucky Spirit or do you like Russell's Reserve 10-year? Both are on the same price point for me. I know there's some very different opinions on that. Let me know if you are more of like the traditional 101 flavor profile or you like a bit more of the Russell's flavor profile, which we'll have a conversation on here in just a bit. But let's go ahead and start with the 70th anniversary Jimmy Russell release. Again, this is an 8-year-old Wild Turkey 101. Just came out, I think, this year. Very approachable. I think it's around $45-ish. So around the same price point, honestly, as Kentucky Spirit and Russell's. But yeah, let's go ahead and give it a try. Cheers, y'all. Oh, Zophar said Northern California is getting beat up by a storm. I heard a little bit about that. I know we're getting maybe some rain this weekend, but haven't been keeping up with it. Honestly, this past week I was on a cruise to Mexico, so I did not pay attention to anything going on in the outside world. I definitely needed that vacation. Of course, now I'm back. I'm back into the thick of it at work. So it's just been a week, okay? So I'm ready to drink with you guys and have a bit of fun. Speaking of fun, we do have fun in our after party hangout. after every Thursday night live stream. You guys already know, but we do that over on Discord. If you're not yet a member of our Discord, why not? It's free. You're welcome to join. You don't have to be a patron. If you are a patron, you get access to some very exclusive hangout rooms, like our after party, our monthly movie night, and our VIP lounge. So if you're not yet on Discord, click the link. Everyone is welcome to join. We hope to see you there. All right. Let's go ahead and I already drank it. I drank it and I'm like, oh, that was good. Let me move on. No, let's take a minute to think about the 70th anniversary. Again, 8-year-old Wild Turkey 101. On the nose, classic Wild Turkey. I mean, one of the first bourbons I had regularly stocked on my shelf was Wild Turkey 101. Honestly, even 101 rye was my go-to cocktail rye for a while, and it probably still would be if I had more access to it. 101 is just a solid flavor profile. This, though, it takes those notes that I really love about 101 and adds a bit more character, a bit more oak. That 8-year age statement really helps out the backbone of this whiskey just a bit, elevates it to the next level. Yeah. Again, classic Wild Turkey flavors. If you've had a Wild Turkey, you kind of get that spice flavor that they have across the board. This one, though, a little bit of an oaky backbone there, and I like an oaky whiskey. I'm really excited to see how this does as we go from the 8-year to the 12-year to the nearly 14-year toasted barrel. It sounds like they're set up for success here. Let's find out. Let's go to move on to the Turkey 101 12-year. Now, Tony, I don't know if I missed your comment earlier of where this 12-year was from. Is it a travel exclusive, or is it US, or is it Japan? I wasn't sure because I've had a either a 12-year or a 13-year before, and it was travel exclusive, so I just wasn't sure. This link that was supposed to take me to it actually just took me to the Wild Turkey website, which helps me not at all. So oh, there we go. There's the Jimmy Russell 70th. What else do we have here? Master's Keep 1. All right. So the 12-year was Japan only. Okay. That's what I'm thinking too. I just wanted to get clarity before I said that. So it's a Japan only release, 12-year 101. Now, I've seen some stores carrying it here in the US, and it's very much $200. I don't think that's the price of it in Japan. That's just what they choose to charge for it for some reason over here to import it in. I think retail on it probably is closer to 90. I don't know. Tony, if you have any info, let us know. Otherwise, maybe Brandon, I know you've been traveling a bit. You like collecting these travel exclusives, so let me know. Let's go ahead and give this one a nose. Like I said, this is a 12-year-old Wild Turkey 101. Oh, wow. Really different nose. It makes me second guess when I was like, oh, the classic Wild Turkey 101 nose. This one switches it up. This is not what I was expecting from that. Way, way darker. Almost a bit of like a fig on the nose. I know it's not finished, but it really has some dark, rich, like either stewed berry notes or dehydrated, like a raisin or fig. Hard to tell in the nose, but man, that has so much more character. It honestly smells like an older bourbon. Not like age-wise, like duh, it is. It's 12 years older. But it smells like a whiskey that would have had from like the 70s or 80s. I know that because I've had a few decanters from then, especially the glass decanters that really preserve the flavors of the whiskey as they were. On the nose, it is reminiscent of that. So Tony said he bought it on the interwebs, so we don't want to know what he paid for it, but I'm really excited to give it a try. So cheers. Thank you, Tony, for sending this over. Really excited to give it a try. Oh, wow. Man, it's making me think about that $200 bottle I saw on the shelf at K&L, and I was like, no way I'm paying that. There's something to this. This is really nice. I mean, honestly, it makes me angry that we don't get well-aged Wild Turkey, I think they only really have one mash bill, if I'm not mistaken. I think Russell's is the same mash bill. I think Rare Breed. Am I wrong about that? I don't know, but this 12-year age statement is delicious. I would say almost peak Wild Turkey. I think it's honestly some of the best Wild Turkey I've had at the 101 proof. Now, of course, I've had some cast strength releases that have been mind-blowing, but at 101 proof, that is really, really good. Brandon says he thinks that retail is around 100 to 115. It's kind of what I guessed, yeah. Secondary for 15, for 150. That's honestly not crazy. I actually might look into that a little bit. But man, that is. I'm trying to describe how it's different because, like I said, it has those notes that remind me of an older bourbon from like the 80s. One bourbon mash bill and one for rye. That's what I thought, Doug. Thank you for clarifying that. Man, it's just such a drastically different nose than like this 70th, and I imagine classic Wild Turkey because the 70th smells to me like Wild Turkey 101. Like if I was doing a competition, I would likely guess this is at least a Wild Turkey product. But this one, the 12 year, man, I would have no clue other than that's well above. I wouldn't say well above. I think 100 to 115 is the perfect price point. I wish it was here in the States for that price. I would gladly buy it. Maybe not like regularly, like it's kind of the same price point as Booker's. Like I like Booker's a lot, but that's usually around 7 years. It is cast strength. Also, Jim Beam versus it comes in a nice bottle or box, but yeah, that's delicious. That's so far my favorite of the night. So we'll see how it goes. Brandon with the tip, he said, save some of the 12 year to do a side by side with the 15 year. Oh, don't worry, Brandon. We will. We will. Emily, thank you for dropping the link. I don't know if you missed it earlier, but I actually gave you a shout out and I asked you to post the link. So thank you so much for sharing that. You guys, please consider giving to M during this time. It's super, super helpful. Every dollar counts. So if you're looking this giving season to support someone that's part of our whiskey family here, Emily really needs your help. So definitely check that out. She had a couple different fundraiser links. I gave it a previous link, so I'm not just saying this like, oh, go support her, and I'm not giving. I did give on another link. So, but yes, if you guys can, please help out if possible. Jeffrey Whack in the house. What's up, Jeffrey? Good to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well, man. David Goldman says best presentation box in the bourbon game. Ooh, that's tough because I honestly don't get too many of them. Like I mean, the only ones that like I get are like the Wild Turkey Masters Keeps and then the like Bookers and then box wise in bourbon. I get a lot of boxes for Scotch. Like this is my Scotch shelf. I've taken them out of their boxes for the shelf, but for bourbon, it's really rare. I mean, Blanton's comes in a flimsy little cardboard box, but I mean Booker's. I love the wood. The wood's a classic. The Knob Creek 18, which I have up there, is another like expression of like the wood. Yeah, I mean, what do you guys throw out your guesses in the chat? I'd love to know what you guys think best presentation. I know that this 12 year comes in a really fancy box. If you saw the thumbnail, I don't have the box. Don't have the box in front of me, but yeah, you tell me, Tony, if you got the box, if it's good presentation. I do love the Masters Keep boxes just in general, like the two panels that has like all the info on them. I love that. I love a form fitting box where it slides right into place. That's always nice. But yeah. Curious to hear what you guys think about that. Oh, well, thank you, Em. Well, you're incredible, so you deserve all the support you can get. You mean the Knob Creek 15 box with an 18 sticker? I've heard rumors, but I'm not peeling mine off. Not until that bottle is killed. Knob Creek has a growing collection of wooden boxes. I will say I have you can't see it here, but the box I have underneath that Knob Creek 18 is one of the 25th anniversary Knob Creek boxes, and it's really nice. It's like a lighter colored, or maybe it's darker because there's a little book that's a dark color. I don't know. It's hard to see from here, but it has a different color wood than the traditional Booker's boxes. So, listen, I'm a sucker for wood. Oh, I just set myself up for that. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's move on to the Masters Keep 1. Like I said, also comes in a really cool box. I just have a sample here in front of me. This is 101 proof toasted barrel bourbon, aged at least 14 years old. So we're jumping up another 2 years. Now, price point, this one kind of gets up there. It's definitely, they say they sell it on wildturkey.com, but I don't think it's going to be available. I just want to see if they have the price point there. See if I can add it to my cart. No, it just says see details. Let's see. Masters Keep 1. MSRP. I just want to see what the price of that's supposed to be. 175. Okay, so that's a big jump up from the 100 to the 101. So, sorry, the 100 of the 12 year. We're jumping up to 175 for the Masters Keep 1. Oh, apparently it drops down at Costco occasionally. I have seen that on other products, so my one was still 175. Yeah, Costco, when they get a lot of bulk orders of things, they do tend to tend to drop it down as well. Purple velvet box is beautiful. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I don't have it in front of me, but let's go and try this one. Let's see if I have any other additional info on this. Like I said, I don't. I just know it's a toasted barrel finish. It does say it's at least 14 years old, which is great. But let's see. Let's see how I'm just reading this. Finishing barrels were both toasted and charred legally. Okay, legally it was finished for 4 years. I get it. I get it. We're not gonna go to that debate. Let's just see how the bourbon is, right? Color wise, honestly, pretty close to the 12. Definitely both of those are darker than the 8. So it's pretty close. Maybe a little bit darker. The one that's on my right here is the Master's Keep one. The one on the left is the 12-year Wild Turkey 101. So pretty close in color. What's up, Donald? Just popping in on a break at work. Well, good to see you, my friend. Hope to see you at the after party. We will be drinking more Wild Turkey and talking about our Thanksgiving plans, or our excitement for them, or our lack of enthusiasm is the way I want to put it. All right, let's go to nose the Master's Keep one. Oh, that's really nice. Oh man, that's putting that 12-year. I loved it, but this might be a step up. Tony says, "Were you talking about the Master's Keep box or the 12-year box?" I was asking you about the 12-year, but then I started talking about the Master's Keep. So all good. Yeah, that nose on that. Surprisingly similar to the 12-year. I don't know why I said surprisingly. Like they're both Wild Turkey 101, same mash bill. I will say, going back to the 12-year after going to the 14, it has more of like a black tea note to it. You know, I was interpreting it as more of a like oaky note to it. That definitely has like a black tea quality to it, which I love on a bourbon. Not something I get very often, but when I get it, love it. Whereas the Master's Keep one, the 14-year, doesn't have that. It has toasted bourbons are always so difficult for me because toasted ryes, I really get a nice marshmallow note that I absolutely love. Toasted bourbons, it's a little more subtle, a little more just like a charred wood kind of note. Little bit I think a toasted finish on a rye works better than a bourbon. But let me not judge. Let me go for a taste. Cheers. Man, it's been a while since I've had some high end wild turkey, and I often forget how much I really enjoy it. What I don't enjoy is that $175 price point. It's really good. Don't get me wrong. It's really good bourbon. But at 175, I'm really expecting something like not blows my palate. Doesn't have to be cast strength. Usually I do want it to be a little bit higher ABV. This one, I will say honestly, in my opinion, trying it side by side, the Master's Keep one and the Wild Turkey 101 12-year, they're pretty much on par. I mean, now I know the 101 12-year is a travel exclusive and very difficult to get here in the US. But for a retail of around 100 versus a retail of 175, I don't think the difference is enough to go for the Master's Keep one. Now, like I said, secondary for me for the 101 12-year is 200. I don't know if I would pay. I wouldn't pay that for either. I wouldn't pay 175 for the Master's Keep one. I wouldn't pay 200 for this one. But if they were both 100, I would grab the Master's Keep. Sorry, if they were both 100, I would grab the Wild Turkey 12-year over the Master's Keep one. Just my opinion tonight. That may change if I'm tasting it a different night. But man, both really incredible pours. I just think the price point of the Master's Keep one is a bit out of my typical range for something like this. Existential holiday dread. Well, hopefully it's not. Hopefully you have friends like us here on WhiskeyTube to support all of us through dealing with our families and going if we're traveling back home and dealing with that, especially this year. It's always difficult with an election year. You have a lot of different viewpoints and families, and you really hope someone doesn't bring up politics, but evidently they always do. I mean, yeah, I don't want to talk. I'll save some stories for the after party, but yeah, you're visiting some of your spouse's family for the first time, and the first thing they bring up is something about the other political party that's not true. It's like a rumor they heard, and like, did you hear that they're doing this? And I was like, I live in that state, and no, they're not. But anyways, so hopefully our movie night tomorrow will help prepare me for some of those situations. Is Thanksgiving this week or next week for you Empire Queers? It is next Thursday. I'm just doing the live stream because I won't be live next Thursday. I'm rushing. I'm not rushing. I'm trying. I mean, I am because I've just been in a I've been in a just a really stressful week in general with work. So I may be rushing a little bit. Let's slow it down. We're halfway through. We're at about the 7:30 mark. How y'all doing? Is anyone excited about the holidays? I will say I'm excited about Thanksgiving. Like I said, we're going to Las Vegas. We did it last year. Really not crowded at all in the city. A lot of restaurants do specials. Do specials on either like Halloween, either Thanksgiving feasts or just food deals. Really, really. I mean, if you're a foodie, Vegas is the place to be. Thank you, Brandon. He sent me some details on the Master's Keep 1 from the box. So it's going to be hard to show that on the screen. So I'm going to read it. Yeah, that's not going to show up. Okay. All right. The Master's Keep, Two Legacies Harmonized into One by Master Distiller Eddie Russell. Introducing the latest expression in the Master's Keep collection. One is a delightful harmony of the distinct taste of father and son. An artful blend of mature bourbons aged between 9 and 14 years old, handpicked by Eddie and harmonized through a second maturation in specially toasted and charred oak barrels. Tasting notes. Yeah, so okay. A little bit more context there. Like I said, second maturation in toasted and charred oak barrels. Nice. Well, I always love the stories that are on these higher end bottles. I think, like Booker's always has a story associated with it. There's additional info here on the other panel, which again, I said I love these panels. Let's see what we have here. A whiskey that's truly greater than the sum of its parts. One is Master Distiller Eddie Russell's tribute to the distinct flavors of father and son. Yeah, that's kind of what I just said. His father, famed Master Distiller Jimmy Russell's love of mid-aged bourbons is no secret. At home, you'll often find him sipping on 8 to 10-year-old whiskeys from the distillery. However, that never swayed Eddie's passion for the complex characteristics that come with bourbons aged for longer in the rickhouses. To reflect his father's taste, Eddie hand-selected barrels aged between 9 and 14 years old, then selected his own small batch of carefully aged 14-year-old whiskey. Eddie crafted these profiles into one. The magic is in the second maturation, using new oak barrels specially toasted and charred, resting in one of his favorite timber rickhouses, Tyrone G, it's hard to see, G, a first for Master's Keep. Okay, wow, all the info. Love that. All right, well, now that I know the context, let me see if it tastes different and tastes more special. No. I mean, I love a good story, but to me, it's like, I want to see how the bourbon compares to, especially going to the same bourbon through different ages. So it's interesting they mix some younger 9 to 10. I say younger, but in the world of bourbon, 9 to 10 years old is actually pretty old. 9 to 10-year-old bourbon with some 14 aged bourbon. So okay, I think I had been saying that it's 14 years old. I think when I first read the info about it, I said up to 14 years, which was on the label, which I feel like is a little misleading. Let's see. Yeah, it says 101 proof, aged up to 14 years. Okay, I misspoke. It's 9 to 14-year-old bourbon. Thank you, Brandon, for the catch there. But there is some 14-year-old in here, so yeah, appreciate the clarification there. Let me go back to the 12-year now that I had that context on the Master's Keep 1. Let's see if I still like this one better. It's tough. I did misspeak earlier. I did say if they were about the same price, I would get the 12-year. I think if they were about the same price, I'd get both because there are some distinct characteristic differences. I love the T note on the 12-year. The Master's Keep has that a little bit of that like extra char toasty flavor. Like I said, typically in a bourbon, you don't get those sweeter vanilla caramels from the toast like I do on a rye. Both exceptional whiskeys. But for the retail price, the Master's Keep 1 is just a bit too much for me. The Wild Turkey 101 12-year at $100, if that's the price. Happy to to buy that if I saw it for that price. Thank you, Donnie, for the Patreon info there. You get to hear all the political talk. No, I don't talk. Listen, if we talk politics, it's in a very unbiased, like just like grievances. Like I don't like political conversations. Like I just feel awkward in them. Like if you're with one on one, sure, but not in an open forum. It just gets messy. People's feelings get hurt, and I'm not here for that. I'm here for people to have a good time and drink good whiskey. So that's what my hangouts are about. Brandon says my 12 years stuck in Australia. Oh no, with Chris and Lil, they were just. I know. That sucks. Maybe next year, Brandon. All right, we got 2 more whiskeys to drink here. I'm gonna move to this Russell's 10-year. Now, if you missed the thumbnail or the description below, this is not just the regular Russell's 10-year. If you remember, probably when did this whole like Russell's 10-year thing happen? It was like a month or 2 ago, right? Basically, it all stems back to Rare Bird 101. Of course, our good friend David Jennings did a revisit of Russell's Reserve 10-year. He dismissed it for several years from like 2012 or 2022, 2023. Just said it wasn't really his flavor profile. It tasted younger. Just didn't really live up to the Russell's name. So someone recommended him try a batch from 2024 because they said that it had significantly improved from previous 10-year releases. So he did. So he grabbed a bottle of the 10-year marked LLME, which is just not a single barrel. It's the 10-year regular release. That's just the laser code on the back. Laser codes, there's debates like, oh, this laser code's better than this other one. I'm not saying that this particular laser code is better. It's more of like, has it gotten better with over the years? But there's another reason why this one might be better. We'll get to that in a second. But he revisited this and he thinks it is incredible. It's right up the flavor profile. He loved about Russell's for the longest time. That got him into Wild Turkey. As you know, Rare Bird 101, that's his Wild Turkey is his love of bourbon. That's where it's his namesake, I guess I would say. So he really fell in love with this one. He said it had all the oaky flavors that he missed about Wild Turkey of age. And I'm very excited because I've also been a bit of I don't want to say like a downer on Russell's 10, but I've never thought to buy it. Everyone raves about the single barrels and all that. I'm like, okay, cool. But yeah, it's just normally my eyes glaze over at the store. I'm like, okay, there's other things here. Doug said I thought it was Jason 3 to 4 weeks ago after Rare Bird. So yeah, there have been several whiskey tubers that have picked up on this and done reviews. I don't know who was first. I just know when I looked it up, the first thing that came up was the Rare Bird 101 article. So Jason may have been the one to point out. Sorry, Jason, if you were, or if you reviewed it after. I've not watched any of those things. I don't like being influenced by other people's opinions. But I will say, I did see that he said he loved this. So I'm going to see. I wish I had an older release of the Russell's 10 in front of me to compare it to. I don't. But we're going to try it. Like I said, I've been sleeping on this bottle. It normally goes for, what's the price point on this? Like $35? I'm pretty sure it's relatively affordable. Let me just search my local store. Let's see what pops up. Yeah, 40 at Total Wine. Yeah, so not that bad of a price. Similar price point to like the Kentucky Spirits of it all. But let's see if he was right. So this was bottled on May 20th of 2024. So earlier this year, about beginning, I guess May 20th, April, January, February, March, April, May. So mid spring, or I don't know my seasons, y'all. Mid Q2. Yeah, and Brandon, that's the part I was going to get to in a second. I was trying to hold that info back, but why not? People are saying that this bottling was directly after they had bottled the batches of Russell's Reserve 15. So the theory is some of those leftover 15-year-old or close to 15-year-old barrels that went into Russell's 15 that didn't quite make that batch when they cut off that batch made their way into this Russell's 10. Again, no one at the distillery has confirmed or denied this. That's just a theory based on the bottling date. I think, let's see the bottling date of the Russell's 15. April 2024. So this was a month before. So within like a month of Russell's 15, that's the theory. Again, I don't want to say that, but Russell's Kentucky Spirits have gone up to 70, 65. Damn. It's been a minute. Honestly, I have not bought Wild Turkey in a minute, other than just like the 101 and the 70th and things like that. So, wow. Okay, well let's go ahead and nose this 10-year-old 90 proof Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Mm, really nice nose. Different. Very different from what we've been drinking. I mean, yeah, it does not have the tea or the toasty notes from the 1 or the 12-year-old. I mean, the closest one of the three that it has is the Jimmy Russell 70th, which is the 8-year-old Wild Turkey 101. So, I mean, kind of makes sense, right? This is 2 years older or older, supposedly, with the rumors. But it's really nice nose, I gotta say. I mean, I would say, I don't want to say sharp, but less. I think when we think of like a whiskey flavor wheel or a tasting wheel, we think of it as like points. Like there's the spicy, there's the nutty, there's the vanilla, there's the sweet, there's all those notes. It's for me the perfect bourbon is well rounded. It doesn't spike in any of those directions. This on the nose doesn't. The one I want's a little spiky in the spicy area, a little bit in the sweet, but this one doesn't spike. So that could be a really good sign. Yeah, I mean, just really delicious. Nothing quite coming out of the glass like tasting notes or nosing notes. A little sweet, like less of the fig that I was getting on that other one. More of a brighter. I mean, I want to say raspberry only because I had raspberries earlier today. Maybe it's more cherry. I don't know, but there's a brighter fruit note there. But very very lovely. Smells like a candle. I want to drink it. This is only 90 proof, Brandon said. So yes, that affects when I say things are spiky or not, but I'm talking more about like what's the first thing that jumps out of my tongue. Spiciness doesn't necessarily mean I'm not meaning it like high proof, like it burns. Like that's an ethanol. That's another point on my star of spikiness. But yeah, that smells really really nice. Let's go for a taste. Cheers. Mm, man, that is. I don't want to say smooth because we all have that connotation with smooth, but normally going from 90 to 101 doesn't really affect me in weird ways. Like I don't really notice as drastic of a difference, but that weirdly enough has a much longer finish than any of these ones we've had, even though those are the higher proof points. It's a little more mellow when it hits the tongue. I think I'm going with the cherry now. The tip of the tongue, it's a really bright sweetness, almost like I don't want to say chocolate covered cherry. This isn't a thing. I'm thinking of like powder covered sugared strawberries. But if you put the powdered sugar on a cherry, which is kind of weird, right? But that's kind of what I'm thinking flavor wise. Man, that was really good. I had to go in for another taste. Mm, man, I really, like I said, I wish I had a bottle of like another release of the Russell's Tin because this is nice, but I don't want to say that it's the best Russell's Tin I've ever had because it's been a while since I've had it. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on to the rest of this sample. I'm going to come back to it. Maybe I'll do it on like sometimes I'll do it like a Twitch stream or if I ever restart my podcast, I'd love to do a side by side comparison of this batch, either an older one or a newer one. That is delicious for that price point. Absolutely, I would buy this for $40. It is like the perfect like table pour. You know how people have like a table wine. This one's not going to upset anyone as long as they're okay drinking neat whiskey. Great proof point. Really long finish. Like I said, I get cherry. It is very fall. It's a very Thanksgiving-y theme. I mean, not because it's wild turkey, but it's a very, very nice seasonal pour. Really great. Thank you again, Tony, for sharing that. I'm so excited to compare it. Tony? I'm curious. Have you compared this to another batch? Love to know your thoughts. Uh, no way. 10-year 90 proof is 60 to 70. Red label single barrels. Yeah, for sure. No, no, Tony. I think he was saying. I think he was saying that he was talking about the single barrels. Yeah, yeah. The 10 years like 40. Wild Turkey did say that it was not true, but confirmed older barrels were in this batch and batches going forward? Question mark. Okay, so I mean, and that's kind of the case, right? They're finally getting caught up with their stock. There was a bit of like a bourbon. I mean, there's still a bourbon boom, but there was a bit of a surge probably for the past like 4 or 5 years, and I think finally they're getting past that, and they're saying like, okay, the barrels that we started, right before that are finally coming of age. We're starting to get some older stock to put in. So that's good to see. I love that. I love distilleries, putting age statements back on things. Like this, Wild Turkey 101 doesn't have an age statement, but them to put the 8-year statement on the Jimmy Russell's 70th anniversary is a win. Knob Creek, they put the 9-year age statement back on, and then they released a 12-year-old regular release on the shelf. I see it everywhere. One of my favorite bourbons of all time. I think I've put in my top 10 list like the past 2 years because it really is an exceptional value. So, I love to see age statements. I love to see older whiskeys, especially at affordable price points. That's what's a winner in my book. This one, 10-year-old, $40 is absolutely a winner when it comes to price. So, yeah, that's awesome. I'm really glad I tried that again. Brandon says 10-year or 8-year 101 age statements are coming back. The label was approved by the TTB a few weeks back. I think that was the theory around this one, this Russell 70th. There was a theory that like after the 70th anniversary release, is come and gone, they were going to stick with the same whiskey but put it in like a regular 101 bottle. So I look forward to that. I would be buying it. I hope it doesn't, drive up the price too much. But yeah, that's really great to hear. I'd love to buy handles of 8-year-old Wild Turkey at the prices we used to get them, Brandon. Brandon had a spot that was like $20 to $25 for a handle, which was amazing. So probably not. That was like 2 or 3 years ago, if not more. So, but Brandon said, would you like to compare the Japan 8-year 101 release? Yeah, man, bring it over. Do you have it now? If so, we can do it at the start of our stream tomorrow or Saturday if you want. If so, we can compare it to the 12-year. If y'all want to see that, let us know in the chat. Tony says, I have compared batches. In my opinion, not a dramatic difference, but a better pour. I also put it up against a 10-year Russell's 110 single barrel, and it held its own. Really nice. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, like I said, I would love to do a comparison of just the regular Russells. Brandon, if you have a regular Russell's, we can do that too. Maybe we can just consider it a part 2 of this stream. If you just happen to have a regular Russell's 10. I mean, if not, no big deal. We can do whatever, but... All right, let's go. We got one more pour to get through tonight. That is our Russell's 15, which supposedly some of the barrels from that made it into the 10-year. Now, Wild Turkey denied it, but they're not gonna release that info to make people go crazy, right? People go crazy for these. All right, the 15. Yeah. So again, thank you, Tony, for the sample. Now, this is actually the second time Tony's let me try it. The first time was when I went to go visit him in Memphis. Did you bring this, or was that Vegas? That was Vegas. You brought this bottle to Vegas, Tony. I tried it there. Didn't really have a frame of reference. I thought it was good. I just, at the moment, it wasn't hitting for me. But I'm so excited to give it another try. Now, Russell's 15. We all know this is a very, very sought after bottle. Retail on it, tie, I know. $250. Now, people are paying a lot more for that. But let's see if we can pull up the info here on the Russell's Reserve website. $250. All right. Yeah. Every time I go to this website, they ask my date of birth. Like, it doesn't keep my cookies. Keep my cookies, please. All right. This one, there's no proof written on it, but it says, it says non-chill filtered and bottled at precisely 117.2 proof. So unless there's been multiple releases of this, which I don't think so, this is going to be the highest proof thing we drink tonight. 15 years. So theoretically, only 1 year older than the Master's Keep 1. I love these theories. I find it amusing. I know, I can't confirm or deny anything, guys. Northwest Bourbon in the chat. Cheers. Hope you are doing well. Tony said it's everyone's whiskey of the year. I paid secondary for a backup. Okay, dude. Do you? I don't know why those are angry faces, Oh, is it because like people are catching on that it's popular? I could see that. But I was like, no, it's everyone's whiskey of the year. No, I still am making my whiskey of the year list. Y'all know I do a top 10 every year. I'm actually count on my patrons to actually help me with that. So my Bourbon Terabyte tier, which is my $50 tier, I do a monthly sample set for them every month. We usually do five samples. We taste through them. We do a hangout exclusively for them. But for the month of December, I'm going to be doing I don't necessarily want to advertise this. I'm only doing it because I didn't send them a tasting box in November. So if you join Patreon at the $50 tier in December, don't expect the full this. I don't want to mislead people, but I'm gonna send them 10 of my top 10 whiskeys of the year, and they're gonna help me narrow down the ranking for them. They're gonna do them blind. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah. At the top of next year, if you guys want to get on that, please do. It's an amazing experience. There are other subscriptions to get whiskey samples, but how often do you get to contribute to them, get to try some of the same things you get to watch me try on the channel? Go back, watch the stream, taste them with me. Yeah, it's usually a fun time. So our friends of that tier can vouch for it. It's a lot of fun. So, by the way, shout out to you, Todd and Fred. All right. On the nose, the Russell's 15. Very, very different. Better than this year's short cheese stack. I have not tried any of the BTAC this year. I probably won't before the end of the year because I'm not on Buffalo Trace's list, and unless some of my local friends get it and are willing to offer a sample, I don't have it. Tony said I should have been clear. It's everyone else's whiskey of the year, and yet I did the dumb thing and bought another anyway. But why is that dumb? If it's everyone else's whiskey of the year, and you bought a second one, shouldn't you be happy that you have a second one? I don't know, Tony. You're gonna have to explain that to me in the hangout. Will we get the number one this year? Aha, very funny, Todd. Very funny. I say Todd because I see the at the top of your thing, and I'm talking to Tony. Donnie. One year I did forget to announce the number one whiskey of the year. I was having a really fun live stream counting down every New Year's Eve. We started with the East Coast, made it all the way to the West Coast. That was a lot of fun. Probably because he overpaid. Gotcha. Okay. We can talk about that after. But this 15-year noses most similarly to the Russell's 10. I didn't say that because I thought about the fact that the barrels might be related, but I'm going to be real. Those two smell very similar. No, the one has more of that toasty kind of quality. The char doesn't smell anything like it. The 12-year, it's got some similarities. Yeah, the 12-year, the Russell's 10 and the Russell's 15, similar on the nose. Just for the heck of it, the 70th. Similar, like it's the same family, but doesn't compare. The Russell's 10 and the Russell's 15, very, very similar nose. Now the 115, or the Russell's 15 is 117.2 proof. So we are jumping up significantly from the Russell's 10. That was 90. So we're going up a full 27.2 proof points. I do love it. It's weirdly, even though it's that high proof, it's that same well-rounded character that I got on the 10. I'm starting to see why this theory could have come into being, because I could see people being the same way. Like, why does it smell the same? Like if they love the 15 and they go try their 10, they're like, wait, what the hell? All right, let's try the Russell's 15. Cheers. Oh, that is hot. Man. Dry. I mean, man, that hits you with that oak. Unlike any other wild turkey I've ever had, when it comes to that oak, the 13 years had it, but to me they had a bit of a sweetness that carried with it. And Brandon knows, because when Brandon was at my house on October, why do I get Thanksgiving and Halloween mixed up? When he was at my house on Halloween, we killed both of my 13-year Russells. I had the batch 1 and the batch 3. We killed them both. Delicious. Love that bottle. Happy to share with a friend and kill it. So good. So said it was a real cliffhanger, that New Year's Eve stream. Indeed it was. But yeah, this is oaky, like an oak bomb. I normally am a fan of that, but Tony, I'm afraid I'm going to say what I said when I tried it in Vegas. I'm having a similar experience. To me, the oak overtakes the other qualities that I really love about wild turkey. That spice note that I get, so much on the younger ones. Even like the T note that I was getting on the 14 year or the Russell's 10. I don't know which one I was getting the T note. I think it was a 12 year. Yeah, I think it was a 12 year. The oak dominates, and I love a dominant oak. I love a dominant wood in my life. But I think to me this one just hits a little too hard in that territory without the other elements that I love about it equally as, balanced. We're getting a real big spike towards oak on this one, which is something that I used to experience with those older Knob Creek store picks, the ones that used to be like 14, 15 years old, which by the way I loved. But because of those, I got that oak, but it was followed back with that sweet, nutty, with Knob Creek specifically, that nutty, sweet characteristic that I love about their younger bourbons. This one goes hard with the age, the oak, the char. I wouldn't say char, it's not even char. It's just an older oaky flavor. Love the proof on it. 117.2. Delicious. I wish I could have the Russell's 10 of that proof. It's really good. I just think I would probably pass on this one at retail. I think I prefer the 13 years, the batches that I've had. There was that first single Rickhouse release, the first one that came out, I absolutely loved. I prefer that over this one. I didn't have the other single Rickhouse releases, so I can't compare that, but it's really nice. I am not complaining that I've had a chance to try it again. Thank you again, Tony, for the opportunity to try it. It's just, for me personally, not what I would consider one of my top whiskeys this year. But again, everyone has their own taste. Some people may put this number one, and I don't fault them at all. But yeah, it's a really fantastic one to try. For me, I would pass at retail, but I'm a big fan of the flavor, not the price. Same with the Master's Keep one. You know what? Like when you get up to like the 175, you have to be, at least me, I have to be really smart with my purchases, because not necessarily because like I feel, cost prohibitive, but it's more of like I some of my favorite bourbons are in the sub $70 price point. So it's like I'm gonna pay $100 more. What am I getting value for that? So that's just my personal take on it. Not to say I wouldn't, if I had never tried it before, would I probably splurge and try it out once? Sure. I've done that on several other bottles. Maybe not a second backup bottle for me, but hey, Tony's already bought one for himself. So that's my thoughts on it. Tony said it hits. The nose is my favorite, finish second. Oh, my nose is my favorite, finish second, and palate last. But I've had mixed feelings about that palate lately. Tonight, it remains that order. A good hard oak wood. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you like it, and I think a lot of people will too. It's just, oh, Emily, dominant wood in a tight box. Okay. This one didn't come in a box. But, oh, 250. Yeah. Well, that one, when I first tried that, I was like, there's no way this is going to be that good. And I tried, I'm like, fuck, it's good. It's really good. So would I pay 250 for it? Thinking back on it now, yes. Would I have bought it blindly for 250 without trying it? No. Absolutely not. But that's just me. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Thank you all so much for sticking through, whether you're watching the replay or the, skipping around the time codes or watching it live. I appreciate you all. Thank you all for your support of the channel over the past year. I'm most thankful for this community, this family, the Discord family that we hang out with randomly when I'm on the cruise and see y'all hanging out. I pop on. And the folks that just post memes all the time. Tyler, where are you at? So I appreciate you all so much. Thank you all to all my subscribers. Thank you to everyone. I'm saying this like it's a goodbye for the year, but it's not. It's just a big thank you this thankful season. Reminder, I'll be live this Saturday for a special bonus live stream with Brandon, blind flight, maybe some turkey involved. And yeah, not live next week, but I'll see you guys early December if you missed Saturday's stream. Otherwise, cheers. I'll see you on Discord. I'll see you on Patreon. Be safe if you're traveling this holiday season. Drive safe. Have a designated driver. If you're going to be with family, you're probably going to drink a lot like I tend to do. Yeah, just spend the night there if you can. If not, Uber to a friend's house. But most of all, be safe. Support your friends. And I'll see you guys soon. I'm dragging this out for no reason. So we're going to call it. All right. Cheers, y'all. Happy Thanksgiving.